Hi everybody, welcome to Northwood Farms Vlog 217. Oh my gosh, I'm Kip.
I'm Emma.
And this is Willow, the lightning bolt girl. And we are back at Northwood Farms HQ.
All right.
Finally. So it has been, the crazy summer.
Is this the beginning of summer?
Yeah, because we're finally getting into the 80s and 90s, coming out of the event. Well, I don't know if we're coming out of it. It's probably going to be around for a while.
I don't know.
This is the start and stop year.
It's 2020, ladies and gentlemen, and nobody knows what the hell's going on.
That's right. Oh my gosh. So, okay,
Holy
let's
hell.
wind it back a little bit because the start of the year, we were good head of steam. Fitness was good. Diets were good.
We'll talk about, because this was the first year you really played around with keto.
Yeah, I did keto, lost a bunch of weight, started doing stuff, was more active. I felt pretty good about going into this year. And then things kind of went weird. I mean, you went down to California, we went into lockdown.
That was the weird thing.
So you were down there for a while, and I got into the essential services at the hospitals. And so,
well, you were in essential services.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got a lot of overtime and worked a lot in the hospital. So it kind of worked out.
A bunny suit, you guys. You should have seen his outfit.
Oh, and the bunny suits.
So
yeah,
crazy.
You call them the bunny suits. It's you know, like the Tyvek and, you know, duct tape around the gloves and the whole thing. Yep.
I just don't know how you typed on your computer.
I didn't type on my computer when I was in that.
Were you talking to the computer?
No. I didn't use the computer when I was in all that stuff. That was when I was in the equipment and stuff like that. Yeah, when I was in the computer, I was in a pretty safe spot. So.
But then, just like you guys, we all got into just survival mode. Right? Like, who was calling it, one of our comedian, the gals we were a fan of, I think she called it the COVID-19.
I don't.
Meaning pounds, like 19 pounds.
Oh. Oh. Eesh. It's like the freshman 19. Oh no.
Right, exactly like the
oh my gosh.
19.
That's pretty crazy.
Oh.
That's not too far off for most people. And it kind of got like that too, where you were just getting whatever you could. You weren't sure.
And the cortisol, like that.
Oh yeah, spiked in everybody's body, the stress.
Not sleeping, like, you
And
know.
a lot of the uncertainty too was,
You'd think we'd be over it by now.
Yeah.
And yet,
well,
here we are, June.
We're not over this thing yet, though. I mean, it'll probably be around for a little bit.
Well, the uncertainty and the fatigue, I think, is
yeah, we're getting into a new norm now too, which is kind of nice.
Right. And like I was talking to you about, I think I mentioned somebody else too the other day. Like it really and truly feels like I'm in the top. I know I'm not alone. I'm just verbalizing this. Like, you know those open washers, like the old ones? I'm thinking of the barrel ones, like with the crank or whatever.
With the top that's
and I just imagine myself like being like, you know, a 3 foot tall doll in there just like thrashing around. And in between cycles, like you gotta catch your breath and you try to do something, and then it's like
you're not far from a 3 foot tall doll.
You guys know what I'm saying though, right? Like, so instead of executing like a long period of time, I think that's the biggest thing. Instead of making a plan, executing the plan, which usually is 3 to 6 to 9 to a year to 24 months long, you know, but it is like pushing a giant ball up a hill. It feels like to execute a day,
right,
or a thing,
right.
It's like, and then you get to the top and you're like, okay, I did that, and then it's like, okay, let's go again, because nothing is easy.
Right.
Right? Like I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, that's a good point. Nothing is easy. And, you know, this is maybe our new norm for a while. And, but the cool thing about it is you got to ride a lot of horses, and you came back and Willow is sitting here and we were having this conversation right here in the barn. Well, not too long ago.
Yeah. So some of you guys remember Willow. She was in my string for, like at the top of my string about 3 years ago. 3-4 years ago was when I was really learning a ton from her. And, you know, I've written some about what she's taught me about peace and movement. And when things get harder, she can actually get calmer. Like, it's amazing. But one of my personal challenges as a horseman has been dealing with, or fitting, I would probably say fitting horses that are naturally more fearful, fractious, and full of energy. Sure. Like, I do really well with the ones that are duller and maybe lazier, even though I really don't think those horses are less dangerous.
Right.
Sometimes they can really be more dangerous.
You just got used to the motivation part.
I like that part. Like,
right.
It's a brain puzzle, you know, and I don't know. That just suits my personality. But of course, it's good to stretch. And Willow is definitely, like in Prairie-land, we would call it a right brain extrovert. She's so classic. She's like, boom, just right there in that quadrant, which just means a naturally more fearful, more energetic horse. And like you said, we were right here when we had turned her out for the winter, you know, and I was like, I can't believe by the time I'm good enough for this horse, she's going to be too old, you know, because she was about, what, she was 17, I guess, 17 at that point. So I was like, boo, you know, this sucks. And because I knew that I just didn't have it. I did not have what she needed to take her to the next level. And although we could do lots of cool things, because she's super talented, there was like a level of harmony that at times it's like I had it with her more than any other horse. I wrote, you guys can check out my blog at emmadaileyklein.com. I just wrote about her last week. But, you know, there were times when I was like, oh my gosh, this horse is so in the rectangle. She's so with me. This is the best feeling, you know, but then 80% of the time, let's say, or 75% of the time, if anything happened that didn't suit her, I wasn't able to right the ship. So when things were good, they were good. But anyway, long story shorter, when I was down at Nathan's with Bonnie is actually a right brain extrovert as well, although she tends to be more left brain when she's very solving. Yeah. very bossy. Yeah. Bonnie, sure. Like we said, a thug life. Thug life. Yeah. Can we even say that anymore? Probably not. No. I said that before. It wasn't okay to say that. Anyway, she tends to be more bossy. So she's a little bit in the left brain, right brain quadrants. But when she was scared at Las Piedras, when we had our Come to Jesus meeting, what I realized by doing all the things that I was doing with her, those were the components that I was missing with Willow. So when I got home, I was like, oh, I just want another shot at it. And so we're just going to play around. We're just going to see. She definitely is older. I think she's in pretty good health, although her left knee is challenging her, just like any other older athlete might have something like that. But I think we can kind of manage it. And there's a specific thing that I'm feeling for in the soft feel. I don't really think I can describe... I don't, you know, it's not technical enough to be able to describe it. But the point is, I know what I'm feeling for.
True.
So when I use the reins, I am feeling for a specific thing in the rectangle. What I would say, that is a technical thing I can spit out, is power and relaxation are the components of the soft feel that all the horses need. I use the word homeostasis. Is that the right word? Is that the right way to say it? Like, there's a...
Yeah, you can use that, because you're coming, that's not bad actually, because you're coming to the center of those two things. And it's settling in there.
Yeah, and so depending on the horse's personality, or, you know, what's happening in the environment, let's say, I could be talking to my horse about relaxation or power, right? And whatever we're doing or whatever the environment is dictating we need, that there has to come a balance from the horse, right? But I have to know what I'm feeling for. And so with Bonnie, I learned more about that. And I would also say, yay, 3 years later, I'm a little bit more, I'm a better rider for sure. And so it's been helpful for her to have me be less sloppy, you know, because I think at times I was just too out of control. I mean, even though that sounds crazy, but really I think from her perspective, it's like, oh, lady, you're so loud, you know? And then, so I'm a little bit more serene from her perspective, but also I know a little bit more about where I want her to tolerate me too. So like sometimes if she gets all abrasive, I'm like, Wilz, come on, don't take it so seriously, you know, and she relaxes a little bit more. And the last thing I'll say, and then we will start to wrap it up, is the friend factor, which doesn't count in terms of like what I'm trying to accomplish with this thing I'm feeling for. It's actually a little bit of a cheat, but I would say that the friend factor
certainly helps.
Yeah, like I'm noticing it for sure. She just gives me a lot of, she gives me the benefit of the doubt. You know, when things are stressful and I might touch her or talk to her or whatever, like she presumes now that I'm an ally.
Sure.
And that's very different than when I started riding her, although she loves people, and the people we got her from, she loved them, and they did a great job with her for, you know, their, what they did great with her, you know, but for me, when I started riding her, she did not always see me as an ally.
Sure.
And then like, depending on if she was in a comfortable environment, then we were friends. But now, like all these years later, 8 years later, and after a break, I can tell that she is just willing to believe me first. I think I could probably push that too far. But the cool thing is I have better things to say now. So I'm excited, and it's kind of crazy. It's a perfect example of like, you got to kind of beat your own drum. And, you know, I don't know. It's like, I don't know what other people are going to think. I guess I just can't worry about that, you know. Sometimes I don't know what I think about squeezing her in, but I do know that layering on the last 3 years of experience onto a horse that I know is teaching me a lot, a lot. Yeah.
Yep. So that should be it for this one.
Didn't you guys miss Kip?
Yeah. I'm back. So,
but wait, though. Are we going to talk about Orange Fury?
No, we'll do that next time. Orange Fury. Oh, jeez. That's a whole nother thing. We'll get into Orange Fury. But, yeah,
okay.
That's the next chapter. That's the next start and stop.
Yeah.
We can talk about that.
Well, we hope you guys are doing so good. And you can check out my horsemanship content at Evolution of a Girl on Instagram. You can search Emma Daly Klein. Things are rocking and rolling at the Northwood Farms campus. Beth is teaching again. So we did lock down at the campus for a little while. Of course, we're open now.
Yep.
And so Beth is teaching again. So you guys can go to northwoodfarms.com and hunt her up there because she is doing a great job. She was teaching this little girl the other day, 6, when I was in the barn yesterday, Mariah, right?
Yeah.
And I go in the barn, I'm like, oh, hi, how are you? You know, and I'm like, so are you new to riding? She's like, no. And I go, really, how long have you been riding? And she goes, I don't know, a long time. And Beth is like, 6 months. Like for a 6-year-old, that is like
that is a long time,
right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, warms my heart.
Yeah.
So much.
Lots of fun.
Anyway.
Okay. Well, Wilz, thank you for hanging in here with us.
Will's like, I could do this part all day.
Yeah, she likes it. Yeah. And
all right, you guys.
We will see you guys really soon too, because things are ramping up. I swear. All right, we'll see you guys
Not too much.
All right, we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.